Hey guys, I'm your boy Nick with Pick 'em and today we're gonna be talking about the UFC Vegas 81 card. We're gonna be doing a full card breakdowns. I hope you guys can hear me loud and clear. Let's get right into it, guys. First fight on the card, we have Tainara Lisboa taking on Ravena Oliveira. Let's get into the height, the reach, and everything, guys. So we have Tainara Lisboa. She is 32 years old, coming in at 5 feet 7 inches tall with 67-inch reach. She trains out of Damas 013. I never heard that gym before, but apparently it's a proper gym and everything. Let's talk about some details now, guys. Let's talk about her skills. So Lisboa, she's a Brazilian prospect with a 6-2 MMA record. She has fought a good level of competition in her MMA career coming up to the UFC debut. She's got good experience competing in Muay Thai from the age of 16 years old. Has a black belt in Muay Thai also. Fought Valentina Shevchenko back in 2010. So she's been competing in combat sports for a long time. She took on Norma Dumont in her first pro MMA career. I mean, I'm sure you guys, if you guys are hardcore MMA fans, you guys must have heard of Norma Dumont. She got that cake on her too. Anyways, guys, let's get back to the prediction. But since then, she took Norma Dumont in her UFC debut. That was a tough fight. I mean, taking on an experienced fighter like Norma Dumont in your UFC debut. She did lose that fight, but since then she has done really well. She's now on a 4-5 win streak right now, coming into this second UFC fight. She already made her UFC debut, picked up a dominant win over Jessica Rose Clark. Even finished her by submission in the third round, which was very impressive for her. I was very impressed with her UFC debut performance. She's very well-rounded. She can strike. She has good power in everything she throws, and is very skilled on the ground also. She has a BJJ, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. I think it's black belt. She showed good takedown defense against Jessica Rose Clark, because Clark was trying to take her down over and over, and she showed good takedown defense there. Who was trying to take her down over and over. She's a strong girl in the clinch. She's very strong in the clinch. She will go for her own takedowns. She will also land knees and elbows in the clinch. She's relentless. She will keep landing those knees to the body, knees to the head, and she's just doesn't let you rest in the clinch. She's trying to finish, not trying to win on scorecards. Yeah, she's a finisher. That's what you want to see from a girl like this. Brazilian girl on the come up. She's trying to finish her opponents. She's not trying to win on the scorecards. And now in her prime, I expect her to look even better in the second fight, because now where she lacks, the only place that she lacks in is her head movement. She's very hittable on the feet. I mean, if you can land clean, you can probably really hurt her, but she's showing a good chin. When she's exchanging and the striking, she has no head movement at all, but has shown a good chin and can eat a big shot if she needs to. She's also shown good cardio. She's able to finish a fight in the third round, which is very impressive. She still had the squeeze left in the third round, which is good to see. I think it was a rear naked choke over Jessica Rose Clark in the third round. Very impressive. I'm very impressed by her. She should look improved now, because she will be able to bring in better training partners now that she's getting paid more. She's also going to be able to use those benefits that come with being a UFC fighter, like the Performance Institute Center. I mean, you can go train there. You can get a whole other stuff done, the health benefits that come with that. Anyways, guys, let's talk about her opponent, Ravena Oliveira. Ravena Oliveira is 7-1 in her MMA career. She's making her UFC debut in this fight. She's 26 years old, 5 feet 5 inches tall, and her reach is not available as of right now. She trains out of Life MMA. Let's talk about her notes that I have on the previous fights. I could only find a couple of fights of her. So she's another prospect out of Brazil. She has fought very low level competition coming into this UFC debut. Most of her opponents don't even have a single win on their record, which is just crazy to see. Like the UFC's, they're telling these guys to go in Dana White Contender Series who have like over 15-20 fights, but then they sign girls like these who have fought straight cans to the UFC. Like, it just make sense, Dana White. Like, make it make sense, please. Anyways, guys, let's get back to the prediction. She's finished most of those lower level opponents, which is good to see. But this is a tough debut for her. In this fight, in the fights that I was able to find, she looked very mid. Throws mostly looping shots, doesn't throw any straight rights or anything like that. Doesn't have much sting on anything she throws. I think she's gonna be outpowered in this fight. I think the power difference is gonna be huge. On the feet, she's more than willing to engage in a firefight, and if she does that, I think Lisboa is gonna put her down, knock her down, maybe really hurt her. She eventually will look for her own takedowns, but she's not able to get the takedowns early in this fight. She's very hittable, blocks punches with her head. I don't see her getting the takedowns on Lisboa. She's crushed a bunch of cans, still very green in her career. I will see that Lisboa finds a second round submission. That's how I see this fight going. I think Lisboa is gonna hurt her, stung her with some couple of punches, and then take her down and then find a submission. Or it could be a TKO stoppage. He does land good ground and pound, and she hits really hard. I mean, this is a big step up in competition for her, for Oliveira, going from beating girls who don't even have a single win on the record to going up against Lisboa, who's an experienced fighter, fought against good level opponents. I'm gonna say that Lisboa gets the second round TKO, guys. That's the pick for this video. I'll make the next video now. Alright, guys, next up at lightweight we have Terrance McKinney taking on Brendon Marotte. Let's get into it, guys. Let's get into the details. Let's go over Terrance McKinney first. We have Terrance McKinney, 29 years old, at 5 feet 10 inches tall with a 73.5-inch reach, guys. He trains at a Warrior Camp MMA. Let's go into his details. And then he's going to be taking on Brendon Marotte, the kid. He's going to be 26 years old, 5 feet 10 inches tall with a 72-inch reach. So McKinney's only going to have a 1.5-inch reach advantage here. Marotte trains out of New England Cartel. We've been seeing a lot of guys come out of that New England Cartel gym. I mean, they've really been on fire lately. They have some of the toughest fighters coming out of that gym. Let's go over the details now, guys. The details for this fight. I have my notes right here. So we all know who Terrance McKinney is by now. He has all the skills that you would want in an elite fighter, but that gas tank has always been a big problem for him. He was supposed to take on Chris Duncan in this fight. I mean, but that fight was cancelled due to Duncan having a problem with getting visa to travel to the States. Now we have the New England Cartel's prospect Brendon Marotte taking this fight on short notice. I think he's taking this on a week's notice as a big opportunity to make it into the UFC. So he's happy either way. I mean, this is a big opportunity for him. Marotte is very hittable on the feet. Doesn't have the best takedown defense either. We know McKinney has the wrestling in his back pocket and is a very good striker who hits very hard also until he runs out of gas. I mean, until McKinney runs out of gas, I mean, he's like a top 10 ranked fighter until he runs out of gas. If you can extend the fight into the second round or third round, I mean, you have a chance of beating McKinney. But if in the first round, he's very, very dangerous. McKinney is very, very dangerous. He will start fading if he is not able to find a finish inside the round and a half. These New England Cartel dudes are very, very hard to put away. If McKinney uses his wrestling, I think he will be able to find a rear naked choke on him, because Marotte, he does leave openings when in the scrambles, when he's trying to get back up. He does leave his neck open for a rear naked choke. Anyways, guys, so he took on Terrance McKinney last fight. Fight before his last one, he took on Nazim Sadykhov, and in the first round against Nazim Sadykhov, I mean, he pretty much took him down and had that body locked in, and he burnt the clock. I mean, Nazim Sadykhov, he's a very, very well-rounded fighter. Wasn't able to get up in the first round. I mean, so Terrance McKinney has very good control. If he gets your back, I mean, you're not getting out of that body lock. Anyways, guys, so I will look at McKinney round 1 props, Marotte round 2 props, and round 3 props. But this is a McKinney's fight to lose. Marotte has not been in there with anyone close to McKinney's level. I think McKinney can either crack him on the feet and find a stoppage like he did against Mike Brendon, or he can find a submission on him if he takes him down. But you never know, man. These New England cartel guys, they always bring the fire. They're just like those Chute fighters, Chute Diogo Lima fighters. I mean, they always bring it. I am gonna go with the Terrance McKinney. I think he's gonna be able to find a submission. I'm gonna say first round submission for Terrance McKinney, guys. That's it for this video. That's it for this pick. We're gonna go into the next one now. We have the next up. Let's get to the next one now, guys. Next up at strawweight, we have two women going at it. We have Ashley Yoder taking on Emily Ducote. Let's talk about Ashley Yoder first. She's 35 years old, coming in at 5 feet 7 inches tall with a 69.5 inch reach. She trains out of Dan Henderson Athletic Fitness Center, and that's her primary gym, and she trains out of Team Quest sometimes. She's taken on Emily Ducote, who is 29 years old, 5 feet 2 inches tall with a 63 inch reach. So she's going to be at a reach disadvantage here. Her record is 12 wins and 8 losses, and her opponent has 8 wins and 8 losses. So this is probably going to be Ashley Yoder's last fight. If she loses this, I don't think the UFC is going to keep her around for too long. If she loses this, I don't think they're going to keep her 8 and 9 record girl. Anyways, guys, let's get into the details. And let's talk about Yoder first. Yoder is coming back after 2 years away from the competing in MMA. I'm not even sure why she's coming back, if I'm being honest. What motivation does she have to train hard for this fight? I mean, maybe she's just trying to fill up her, get her contract done. She's 1-4 in her last 5 UFC fights. Before the 2-year layoff, she was beaten up by Angela Hill by unanimous decision, and then she was beaten up by Jinyu Frey back to back. Like, holy shit! Imagine losing to Jinyu Frey and Angela Hill back to back by unanimous decision, not even like a split decision or something. Unanimous decision. Now at 35 years old, Yoder, I expect her to look slow and stiff coming back after 2 years off. The UFC is doing her no favors with this matchup. Ducote, who's in her prime right now at 29 years old. Both girls like to keep the fight on their feet. Ducote is also on a 2-fight skid right now, losing to Hill and then losing to Lupi Godinez. But that last fight against Lupi Godinez was extremely close. I watched that fight. I remember that fight. I went back and watched it again. The significant strikes for that fight was 112 for Ducote to 132 for Lupi Godinez. The only difference maker in that fight was that Godinez went for a takedown at the end, which kind of sealed the round for her and kind of sealed the fight for her. But that was an extremely close fight. I mean, Ducote looked real good, really good in that fight. We saw how good Lupita Godinez is. She just knocked out did she knock out I think she knocked out Elise Reed, right? I mean, did she knock her out or submit her? She finished Elise Reed. So impressive that Emily Ducote had a close fight with her. Ducote looked great in that fight. I think she should be able to easily outstrike Yoder here and win by unanimous decision. Maybe we will see Ducote mixing in some takedowns. She doesn't normally go for takedowns, but I think we can see her mixing in takedowns here, just to mix it up, just to confuse Yoder, just to put a stamp on each round. All Yoder's losses are by decision. She has never been finished in her career, and I don't think she's gonna be finished here. Ducote isn't much of a finisher. I think it's gonna be 30-27 on all scorecards for Ducote. She's gonna outstrike her, outland her, outdamage her, and I like the fight to go the distance prop on this fight. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be juiced up all the way, but it would be very wide. I think I'm just gonna stay away from this fight. Too many questions, too many red flags around this fight, guys. But the pick is Emily Ducote by unanimous decision, guys. Let's go to the next fight now. Alright, guys, next up in the bantamweight division, we have Chris Gutierrez Guapo taking on Alatengheili, the Mongolian Knight. Let's get into it, guys. So we have Chris Gutierrez. He has 19 wins, 4-2 overall. He's coming off a loss in his last fight to Pedro Muniz, where he got knocked down for the first time in the UFC, I think it was, and then he just didn't get going for the other 2 rounds. and Pedro Muniz got an easy win there. So he's 5'9", 5 feet 9 inches tall with a 67-inch reach. He trains out of the Chop Shop MMA. He's going to be taking on Alatengheili, who's the Mongolian Knight, who's coming back after a year off away from the game. He's 31 years old, 5 feet 5 inches tall, with a 66.5-inch reach. He trains out of Fight Ready MMA, guys. Let's get into the details, guys. So, Chris Gutierrez, let's talk about Gutierrez. I mean, he was supposed to fight on that last card, Vegas 80 card, but he was supposed to go up against Montel Jackson, but Montel Jackson withdrew for some reason, not sure why. So anyhow, guys, so now they are giving Alatengheili this opportunity this Saturday to fight a good name in Chris Gutierrez. Chris Gutierrez is a very good kickboxer who likes to stay on the outside and at range and pick his opponents apart with those kicks to the legs, body, and then head. He throws a lot of different dynamic strikes. He has shown great takedown defense at 74% in the UFC. Even when he does get taken down, he will work his way back up without settling on the bottom position. He has very good striking accuracy at 58%, and striking defense at 64%. This is very, very high. He knows how to stay safe in the striking exchanges, except his last fight where he got knocked down. But he was staying safe after that. He wasn't trying to exchange. He is 7-2-1 in the UFC. He had a draw with Cody Durden, back in 2020. Durden was able to get 2 takedowns on him, but Chris got a 1 takedown of his own on him. He doubled Durden in significant strikes, but Durden got some control time there. But it's not a bad draw. I mean, considering how good Cody Durden is doing nowadays. Cody Durden is an absolute fire right now. Anyways, let's get back to the prediction. So Chris Gutierrez last fight, he was a pretty big favorite. I think I bet him against Pedro Muniz, who was a top 15 guy. Pedro was able to land a clean shot on him, knock him down, and after that, it almost seemed like Chris Gutierrez didn't want to get hit anymore. He just wanted to stay on the outside and just collect his paycheck and go home. It is what it is. He lost the previous fight, but he's still a very good, capable fighter. He was trying to stay on the outside and touch Pedro Muniz up with those rangy attacks, but didn't have much sting on it. He just had an off night, I think. Pedro was able to get the win and thereby having the bigger moments in the fight. Anyways, Alatengheili is a prospect. Oh yeah, so Chris Gutierrez. That's all we know about Chris Gutierrez. He's coming off his second loss in the UFC. I think he was on quite a roll before. He was on like a 4 or 5 win streak, I think, or 5 win streak. I think he was on like a pretty big win streak before that, right? Yeah, he was on like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wow, 7 5 win streak before that. So he's gonna be taking on the Mongolian Knight Alatengheili, who has 16 wins, 8 losses, and 2 draws. I think he's on a 2 5 win streak. He's on a draw. He had a draw with Gustavo Lopez 2 years ago, and then he's on a 2 5 win streak right now. He knocked out Kevin Krum, who's not in the UFC anymore, I think. And then he got a decision win over Cháirez, who's a pretty good Canadian prospect on his own right. Let's talk about some details about Cháirez. Cháirez is a prospect out of Mongolia, China. He trains at Fight Ready MMA, a high-level gym where Henry Cejudo runs that gym, I think, with a lot of other UFC fighters over there. They are great at coming up with game plans. He has taken over a year off from the game. His style is mostly to use his grappling to wear his opponents out and mix in the striking from time to time. He averages almost 2 takedowns per fight with a takedown accuracy of 39% in the UFC. He does have some power too. He throws heavy hands. He loves throwing that right overhand right. That's his main weapon on the feet, that overhand right. Chris Gutierrez has to watch out for that overhand right. I'm pretty sure Chris Gutierrez is gonna do fight tip study on him. Chris Gutierrez will be the much bigger fighter here. I think he should be able to stay on the outside and pick him apart with his kicks. Gutierrez was supposed to face Montel Jackson, who's a much higher level opponent, much harder fight than Alatengheili, the Mongolian knight. I'm done pronouncing this name. I'm butchering this name. Anyways, guys, so a lot of stuff going against Mongolian here. Over 1 year off, taking this fight on very short notice. Also, he could start fading in the second round, I feel like, because he hasn't had a full camp like Chris Gutierrez has. Because Chris Gutierrez is gonna keep landing those body kicks. He's gonna take the wind out of his body every time he lands that body kick, deep kick, and the leg kicks are gonna really hurt. And I think the Mongolian's gonna have a hard time reaching Gutierrez with the punches. Anyways, Gutierrez should be more than prepared for anything that Mongolian will try to do in this fight. Gutierrez will have a side advantage too, and a reach advantage. I like Gutierrez here. I put a 1 unit on him at -175 on Caesars. Caesars has the best line on him right now, guys. Anyways, guys, so that's my pick. I'm gonna pick Chris Gutierrez. I think he's gonna win by decision, but it wouldn't shock me if he just really puts it on the Mongolian knight. I keep trying to pronounce his name. I'm butchering the name so bad. Anyways, so I think the Guapo is gonna get it done by decision. I'm gonna say unanimous decision, guys. Alright, let's go to the next fight now, guys. Alright, guys, next up at bantamweight we have Irina Alekseeva taking on Melissa Dixon. This is gonna be a bantamweight, guys. These girls are going at it. Alekseeva is number 18th ranked, wow, just by winning one fight in the UFC. That just tells you how deep this bantamweight division really is. That you win one fight in the UFC, in your UFC debut, and you get ranked right away at number 18. Let's go into the details, guys. So we have Irina Alekseeva. She has 5 wins and 1 loss in her MMA career. She's 33 years old, 5 feet 8 inches tall with a 66-inch reach. She trains out of Ratiboret's gym. She's taking on Melissa Dixon, guys. Melissa Dixon making her UFC debut right now on this fight card. Her nickname is No Mess. She's 5-0 in her. She's undefeated in her MMA career so far. She's 32 years old, 5 feet 7 inches tall. She trains out of Lions Gym MMA. Let's talk about the details, guys. So we have Dixon first. Dixon has amateur experience. She's fought Ivana Petrovic, who's in the UFC now. Back in 2018, lost by decision to her. She went 5-4 in the amateurs against some okay level of competition. She trains out of that Lions Gym MMA. She's a coach over there and has a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu brown belt. She's very experienced on the ground. So that's where she wants to take the fight. She wants to take the fight to the ground. She went pro back in 2021, has fought 5 times since then. Her last 2 wins in Aries FC were impressive. She beat a 6-4 MMA factory prospect, and then in her last fight she beat a 7-0 undefeated Russian prospect who had a lot of hype behind her. She's very hittable on the feet, seems stiff sometimes when she's striking, but has a good chin and durability. She can take a lot of damage if she needs to. She keeps going forward. She can strike but wants to fight on the ground mostly. She has a good cardio when the fights go long. I've never really seen her slow down. She will keep the same pace on you for the whole time. Anyways, guys, so she will clinch and go for the body lock takedown from there. She seems strong for the weight class. She's very good at taking her opponent's backs. Very good understanding of positioning. She gets most of her takedowns off the cage clinch. She can get taken down herself, but will not settle for bottom position at all. She will try to work her way back up right away. If she gets on her opponent's back, she will throw a nasty ground and pound. She loves throwing ground and pound and getting that stoppage TKO. She can get caught in submission attempts at times, but she doesn't panic. She will do the right thing to defend the submissions. She has good transitions on the ground. Has nasty ground and pound from the top position. She has that dog in her 100%. Very tough girl. That 7-0 undefeated Russian girl seemed to be very well rounded. That 7-0 girl was throwing a lot of submissions. She almost had an armbar locked in at one point. Anyways, guys, so she's very good. She's mainly a grappler, but she can hang on the feet. It's not like she's gonna be outclassed on the feet, but she does take damage on the feet. She's trying to get the fight to the ground, and she's trying to get to the top position. That's her bread and butter. Let's talk about Irina Alekseeva, guys. This is gonna be her second fight in the UFC. She made her UFC debut against Stephanie Edgar. So Irina, the Russian Ronda, that's what they call her, made her UFC debut against Stephanie Edgar, who was heavily favored to beat her at -315. That was insane. But Irina kind of just overwhelmed her with their crazy pressure, hit her with a couple of times on the feet, submitted her in the first round with a knee bar. She also has a win over in Bellator over Stephanie Page, who's a okay prospect there. She has sambo and judo background. She's very good on the ground and has knee bar. Her knee bars are nasty. She will just rip your knee off right away. She's absolutely brutal. I mean, she's got that dog in her. Irina throws wild on the feet. She will overwhelm her opponents. In the chaos is where she wants to be. She wants to brawl it out on the feet. She does have some power in those punches. You can hear it land on Edgar. If you go watch that fight back, you can hear those punches land. She's got some heavy power for a girl. In her last fight, she was throwing a lot of kicks, a lot of leg kicks, a lot of good feints out there. She will look for spinning back weapons from time to time. Very unpredictable. I mean, how can you prepare for that? Anyways, I'm not sure how Irina will look in this fight, knowing that she finished the fight very early on, so we don't know how her cardio is gonna hold up if this fight goes into the longer rounds. If this fight goes into the second, third round, or even decision. So we don't know how her cardio will hold up. What I do know is that she does use a lot of energy in the first round. I can see her landing a lot of output in the first round, and Dixon surviving maybe, and coming back into the second round, and getting on top from one of those scrambles and landing nasty ground and pound from top, maybe finding a stoppage. I can see that for Dixon. I'm going to pick Dixon for now, guys. Not just because she's undefeated, but she's got really good cardio, and she can keep the pace for 15 minutes. And she's very tough girl. She's never gonna quit on herself. And I think this is a good stylistic matchup for her. I think I don't know who's gonna win this fight. I'm not like super confident or anything like that. Alekseeva likes to go for submissions on the ground, and her opponent Dixon likes to ground and pound pretty much. I could see her going for another heel hook and Dixon just punching her hole through her face. I mean, we've seen heel hooks don't really work all that much. I mean, sure, she got a heel hook last time around, but when your opponent has good ground and pound, you don't want to be going for heel hooks, leaving your face open for punches. Anyways, guys, so I mean, I'm gonna go with Dixon by TKO, maybe second round, ground and pound, guys. That's my pick for this fight, guys. We're gonna go to the next one now. Let's go to the next fight now. Alright, guys, next up we have the featherweight fight. We have Darren Elkins coming back after almost a year off, taking on TJ the Downtown Brown. Let's get into the details, guys. So we have Darren Elkins. He has 27 wins, 11 losses overall. He's 39 years old. He's almost 40 years old, fighting at 145. He's 5 feet 10 inches tall with a 71-inch reach. He trains out of Duneland, Val Tudo. He's going to be taking on Downtown TJ Brown. Downtown TJ Brown is 17-10 overall in his MMA career. He's 33 years old in his prime still, 5 feet 9 inches tall with a 72-inch reach. He trains at a West Side Fight Team, right, guys? Let's get into the details, guys. So we have Elkins first. We're going to talk about Elkins first. So we all know who Elkins is. I mean, they call him Damage for a reason. He's a grinder who will take everything that you can land on him, and longer the fight goes, the more stronger he gets into the fights. That's how he wins majority of his fights. He's gonna outwork you if you can't finish him in the first round. If you can finish him in the first round, okay, good for you. But if you can't, he's gonna outwork you and win by decision or finish you later. He's 17-1 overall, he's 17-10 in the UFC. Wow, 17-10, that's a crazy record. He's had 27 fights in the UFC. Has been competing in the UFC for over a decade now. He's been in there with the top guys like Charles Oliveira to Volkanovski also. So he's been in there with the highest level of competition that you can be in there with. pretty much has fought everyone in the top 10. Only been finished 4 times in those 27 fights in the UFC. I mean, that is wild, isn't it? This dude is super tough. But now he's 39 years old, coming back after about 8 or 9 months off. I heard that he was dealing with a major injury before. That's why he took that time off. I'm not sure how much longer he can keep fighting the way he does, taking this much damage in every fight. I mean, it's not a good style for long term. Anyways, guys, so at this age, I mean, let's see how long he can keep doing this. But he does have more grit and heart than TJ Brown. This is a good stylistic matchup for him, though. TJ Brown is still very much in his prime at 33 years old. He's had 7 fights in the UFC, and he's coming off 2 losses. He's coming off a loss to Bill Algeo. They fought on that Kansas City card earlier this year. TJ is mainly a grappler, but he can strike well too. He does not move his head off the center line at all. Gets hit a lot in his fights. TJ was landing some big shots on Algeo. Was putting up a lot of damage on him in that first round. So TJ still has a lot of power when he does throw. Very crisp, tight boxing in the pocket. It looked like he worked on his striking before in that camp. Algeo has that same type of style where he can just take everything you can give him or land on him, and he will just keep fucking coming at you. He has that dog in him 100%. That was a great fight. I mean, I really enjoyed watching that fight back. TJ Brown's takedown defense is absolutely horrible, guys. 36% takedown defense. It's just probably the worst takedown defense I've ever seen in my life. No, the worst takedown defense I ever saw was, I think, Reese McKee, yeah, who fought Andalusa. Yeah, that dude has 20% takedown defense. So, I mean, I think TJ Brown has the second worst takedown defense ever in the UFC. He also doesn't know how to manage his gas tank at all. He doesn't know how to pace himself for the full 15-minute fight when he can't finish his opponents. If he can't find a finish on Elkins early here, I could definitely see him gassing out and Elkins taking this fight over later. But I just can't pick a 39-year-old guy, man. Even though he's had so much experience at the highest level, I just can't, man. He's coming off an injury now, and he's fighting at 145, where you need that speed and you need that you gotta have that chin on you. He's still good. He still has good durability. I mean, Cub Swanson finished him though. TJ Brown's problem is that when he does get stunned, he gives up his back so easily. Doesn't even think about defending the rear naked choke. So if Elkins does stun him, I think he can find a submission on him. Anyways, guys, but Bill Algeo is still in his prime, but Elkins is 39 years old, coming off a serious injury. I want to pick Darren Elkins because he's a veteran of the game. Would be nice to see him bounce back and finally get a win. But the fact that Cub Swanson knocked him out in the first round, and then Pierce beat the fuck out of him for the full 15 minutes. I mean, he's just taking so much damage, man. Yeah, I know his name is Damage. His nickname is Damage, but how much damage can you really take before you can't take it anymore? I gotta go with TJ Brown here, but I'm not putting any money on this fight. Don't waste your money, guys. I'm telling you guys, don't waste your money on this fight. I mean, just sit back and watch it, because this is a very unpredictable fight. I don't blame anyone taking the dog shot on Elkins though. I mean, I might even throw like $20 on Elkins live. I'm probably gonna live bet Elkins if I see TJ Brown slowing down really after the first round. I'm probably gonna be live betting Elkins. This is a good live betting situation, guys. The pick is TJ Brown. I'm gonna say TJ Brown by submission. I'm gonna say he gets a submission in the first round. Alright, guys, we're gonna go to the next fight now. Next up we have in the bantamweight division again, we have Christian Rodriguez taking on Cameron Saaiman. Let's get into it, guys. So we have Christian Rodriguez coming in at 9 wins. He's got 9 wins and 1 loss in his career. He's 25 years old, 5 feet 7 inches tall, with a 71-inch reach. He trains out of Rufus Sport MMA Academy. He's going to be taking on the African prospect who's red hot right now, Cameron Saaiman, who's 9-0 undefeated in his career. He's 22 years old. 5 feet 8 inches tall with a 67-inch reach. He trains out of a Team CIT with the guys like Dracus Duplessis and those guys over there. So let's get into the details, guys. So I just want to warn you guys, Cameron Saaiman is my lock of the week for this card. So I could be biased. I locked him at plus 142 early, like 2 weeks ago. So I might be biased in my pick. So just ignore my pick if you guys want. But I'm pretty confident that Cameron Saaiman gets it done. Anyways, let's get into the prediction now. So Rodriguez is very well rounded in all areas of MMA. I went back and watched the fight tape on both of these guys again. Very good boxing. Rodriguez has very good boxing in the pocket, fast hand speed. He lands in combinations when he does. Great balance by Christian Rodriguez. He defends most of the takedowns. Skilled on the ground. Great understanding of positioning on the ground. Rojas Jr. was squeezing hard in the first round, but Rojas Jr. did get the takedowns on him. He did get him down. So it's not like he defended all the takedowns, but Rojas Jr. was squeezing so hard twice in the first round that he gassed himself out. Rodriguez knows how to stay calm in submission attempts, attacks, hand control, lands nasty knees and elbows in the clinch. He's got a good back control with body locks. Very seasoned striker, man. He's a very seasoned fighter. Even though he's 25 years old, he looks very seasoned. Rojas Jr. landed a nice left hook on him a couple of times, but he just didn't have the stamina to put some sting on it. But Rodriguez just has that chin on him, and this dude just eats it without any problem. Just doesn't even flinch. Great chin, but didn't even faze him at all. Rojas Jr. was having a lot of success landing some big shots on him, but he just didn't have any sting on it. Anyways, guys, so Rojas Jr. faded badly in that fight. If he hadn't faded, I think he probably could have won that fight. I mean, because he was getting the takedowns, he was getting the control time, but he just tired himself out with going for the finish early on. Rodriguez has a nasty guillotine choke. If you try to go for a lazy takedown, he had Pierce in some trouble in that fight. Rogan commentary is so annoying, by the way. That fight was absolutely horrible to watch. It's like Rogan just couldn't get fucking Rodriguez meat out of his mouth. I'm sorry, guys, if I offend you guys. If you guys are Rogan fans, I'm a Rogan fan too, but this dude's commentary sometimes it's hard to take, guys. Especially when I gotta go watch the fights all over again. I gotta listen to Joe Rogan. Like, dude. Anyways, guys, so I was impressed with his skills. He's very good. He's always cool as a cucumber in there. In that Arctic, he's never worried about anything. He stays very calm in there. Anyways, guys, let's talk about his opponent now. Cameron Saaiman, my lock of the week. Cameron Saaiman is a technical striker. He throws a lot of really good volume. He can fight at a high pace, and he has great durability also. I think this fight is gonna go to decision either way. I don't see a finish happening in this fight for either guy. Both guys are very seasoned. Both have good ground game. Both can definitely stay safe on the striking exchanges. They are both very young though. This will be a great fight. I'm glad they made this matchup. I'm way more hyped for this fight than the main event, if I'm being honest with you guys. My pick is Cameron Saaiman by unanimous decision. Maybe it could be a split decision because Rodriguez is always coming to fight. But I'm going to go with the Cameron Saaiman by decision, guys. Let's go to the next fight now. Alright, guys, next up in the flyweight division, we have Edgar Cháirez taking on Daniel Lacerda. If you guys remember, we had this fight on the UFC Noche card, but Edgar Cháirez had a nasty guillotine choke locked in, and Lacerda put his arm down like he was sleeping. Like it looked like he was sleeping or something, and the referee stepped in, called it too early. It was a premature stoppage, I guess. So they turned it into they called it a no contest. But I thought that choke was in. I don't know. It is what it is though. They rebooked it. It's gonna be a good fight. I'm happy to see this fight again. But I'm not gonna spend too much time on this. We're just gonna go over the stats quick. Edgar Cháirez has 10 wins and 5 losses overall. He's 27 years old, 5 feet 7 inches tall with a 72-inch reach. He trains out of Antrim gym. He's taken on Daniel Lacerda, who's 11 and 5 overall in his MMA career. He's 27 years old, 5 feet 6 inches tall with a 70-inch reach. He's gonna be at a 2-inch reach disadvantage here, and he's gonna be 1 inch height disadvantage here. He's coming off like 4 losses in a row, all by finish too. He's been finished in all of his losses. I'm not gonna spend too much time here. I only have like one or two things written down here. Edgar Cháirez is gonna win this fight by second round finish, guys. I like the under 2.5 as a parlay piece. Round 2 submission for Cháirez. If you guys like Lacerda, you gotta take him by first round because that's the best chance. After the first round, it's just like he falls off a cliff. Daniel Lacerda's average fight time in the UFC is 4 minutes 43 seconds. I mean, I'm gonna say Cháirez gets a submission. That's my pick, guys. Cháirez by second round submission. It could be even in the first round. Let's go to the next fight now, guys. Next up, we have in the middleweight bout, we have Michel Pereira taking on Andre Petroski. Michel Pereira has 28 wins, 11 losses in his MMA career. He's on a win streak right now, quite a big win streak right now. Both these guys are coming off pretty big win streaks right now. Michel Pereira is 30 years old, 6 feet 1 inch tall with a 73-inch reach. He trains out of Scorpion Fighting System gym. He's gonna be taking on Andre Petroski. Andre Petroski has 10 wins and 1 loss in his MMA career. He's 32 years old, 6 feet tall with a 73-inch reach. Both of these guys' reach is the same. Michel Pereira is gonna have a 1 inch height advantage, not much at all. They're very similar. Michel Pereira is moving up in weight here, guys. So Michel Pereira, I'm not gonna take too long in this fight. I'm gonna tell you guys my pick. I think Michel Pereira is gonna be able to defend the takedowns, touch up Petroski up from range. He has really good movement, really good footwork. He will be able to use that. Footwork to dance around him, beat him up from range. We saw that Petroski doesn't have the best top control either when he gets the takedowns, and I don't think he's gonna be able to get the takedowns from on Michel Pereira. He couldn't even hold on Gerald Meerschaert. I mean, anyways, guys. So Petroski, he was getting pieced up by Gerald Meerschaert on the feet. By the way, I don't see Petroski dropping Pereira at all. Petroski has about 7 minutes of cardio. After the 7 minutes, I mean, he's pretty much a sitting duck. I mean, Gerald Meerschaert is going to town with him with the striking, and Meerschaert doesn't have the best striking, if I'm being honest. Pereira has much better striking than Gerald Meerschaert. Anyways, guys, so Michel Pereira is moving up to middleweight for this fight. By the way, I forgot to mention that. So that is a concern to me a little bit, but I'm not too worried about it because he's always had a big frame for welterweight. At 6 feet 1 inch tall, at 185, it's a pretty good frame. Now Pereira, he's not gonna have to drain himself with the weight cut anymore. I think Pereira should have fought at 185 the whole time. I think Pereira is gonna win by a close decision. It could be a split decision, maybe. Maybe look at the split decision prop, guys, because Petroski does gas out. Petroski's probably gonna win the first round, and then maybe make it competitive in the second round, and then Michel Pereira is gonna win the third round. I like the over 2.5 in this fight, guys. I really like the over 2.5 in this fight. And the only way I don't see the 2.5 hitting, over 2.5 hitting, is if Andre Petroski gets really gassed and he gets submitted. He was submitted on the Tough House by Brian Battle, so it's not like it can't happen. Michel Pereira isn't really a guy that goes for submissions all that much, but I think I'm gonna say my official call is Michel Pereira I'm gonna say close decision, guys. That's it for. Let's go to the next one now, guys. Okay, guys, next up we're in the co-main event now, guys. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. We just hit over 300 subscribers. I want to thank each one of you guys that watch the videos, that subscribe to the channel, that like the videos. I appreciate you guys, first of all, guys. And our goal is to hit 500 subscribers. I know we're gonna get it done as long as I keep grinding. I keep making these videos. I keep making this content. I know we can get to 500 subscribers by end of this year. Anyways, guys, let's get to the co-main event now. How is this co-main event? I don't understand. I hope the Yanez versus Martinez. I mean, they're on a win streak. Martinez is on like a 5-5 win streak, and how is he not a co-main event? It doesn't make sense. I mean, why doesn't this make sense? They have Jennifer Maia as a co-main event. This fight's gonna go to decision. Like, the other fight's way more exciting than this one. Anyhow, guys, so we have Jennifer Maia taking on Viviane Araujo. Jennifer Maia has 21 wins in her career, 9 losses and 1 draw. She's coming up 2 wins in a row. 1 win over Marina Moroz, and then another win over Casey O'Neill. She still got it, even at 35 years old. She still looks okay. She's 5 foot 4 inches tall, 35 years old, with a 64-inch reach, guys. She trains at a Chute box, Monstro. She's taking on Viviane Araujo, whose career is going downhill a little bit right now. Her only win in their last 5 fights is over Andrea Lee and over Roxanne Modafferi. She's 36 years old. Both these women are over 35 years old. She's 5 foot 4 inches tall with a 68-inch reach. She trains at a Cerrado MMA, guys. I don't want to waste too much time on this fight. I'm just gonna pick Jennifer Maia. I think she's gonna outwork her. Viviane Araujo doesn't really use her grappling all that much. I mean, I don't think she's gonna have success taking Maia down. I like the money line on Maia. I think she's like we got her at minus 130. I put her in a parlay with Cháirez, I think it was. Check the Discord, guys. Discord is absolutely free. We have a good community over there, good MMA community, and we have over 30 people there in the Discord. So check my channel description. I'll put the link down below in this video. So join the family, guys. It's absolutely free, and we can talk MMA there. You can ask me questions anytime, and I always reply. So the pick is Jennifer Maia by unanimous decision. This is a good stylistic matchup for her. She's gonna win this fight. Alright, guys, next up, we're in the main event now, guys. Let's go to the main event. Alright, guys, next up, we're in the main event of the evening, guys. Hit the like button on the video, leave a like below for your boy for the algorithm. If you guys appreciate the grind, appreciate the content every day, please like the video below. I would really appreciate that. And leave a comment for the algorithm. You guys know the deal. You guys know how it works. Let's get it, guys. Let's freaking get it. We have Sodiq Yusuff taking on Edson Barboza. I mean, holy shit. I'm more excited about the Cameron Saaiman fight than this one, but this is gonna be a good stylistic matchup too. Let's talk about Sodiq Yusuff, guys. Sodiq Yusuff has 13 wins and 2 losses overall. He's 30 years old, 5 feet 9 inches tall with a 71-inch reach. He trains out of Team Lloyd Irvin. He's gonna be taking on Edson Barboza. Edson Barboza has 23 wins, 11 losses overall. And he's coming off one of his best wins. I mean, in the first round, in the first minute, he knocked out Billy Corntillo with a crazy flying knee. I mean, it was a crazy knockout, man. Who would have thought that Edson Barboza would knock out Billy Corntillo that badly too? That was a brutal knockout. Anyways, guys, so Barboza is 37 years old. There's a 7-year age gap between these two. He's 5 feet 11 inches tall. He's gonna have a 3-inch height advantage here. He's got a 75-inch reach. He's gonna have a 4-inch reach advantage here. He trains out of our American Top Team and the Armory. Anyways, guys, so Sodiq Yusuff is 6-1 in the UFC. I mean, he's only lost to Arnold Allen, who's a top contender. No shame losing to Arnold Allen. He's got a win over Don Shanis. He guillotine choked him in the first 30 seconds. Beat Alekseeva, which is a good win. Beat him by unanimous decision. Beat Andre Fili by unanimous decision. Knocked out Gabriel Benitez in the first round. I mean, he's really putting it together, guys. I mean, I think he's coming up. I think he's coming off some injury right now, though. Is he? I heard he's coming off an injury, though. So I don't know what kind of injuries he's coming off. So he did take a lot of time off. So I hope he's 100%. I think he is 100%. He wouldn't come back if he's at 100%. But Edson Barboza, man, we all know who Edson Barboza is. He's one of the best kickboxers in UFC history. I mean, this dude is just fucking the legend. He's 17-11 in the UFC. He's fought everyone you can think of, like all the top contenders, the champions. He's fought guys like Billy Corntillo, knocked him out with the flying knee. Fought Bryce Mitchell. He was supposed to fight Ilia Topuria too last year, but the fight was cancelled for some reason. Barboza had a knee injury. So he's been dealing with some injuries here and there, guys. He lost to Bryce Mitchell, got out grappled there. Giga Chikate just outworked him and knocked him out in the 3rd round. He kind of gassed out in that fight. Beats Shane Burgos with a nice knockout. Beat Makwan Amir Khani and then lost to Gjani, gave a split decision. Lost to Paul Felder by split decision. I mean, he's losing all these big names, man. But knocked out Benil Dariush with a flying knee back in 2017. I mean, how cool is that, right? Beat Anthony Pettis back in 2016. I mean, holy shit. He's fought everyone, man. He's fought Khabib Nurmagomedov too. Like, what more is there to say, man? What more is there to say about Edson Barboza? But I gotta go with Sodiq Yusuff, man. I have to. Like, he's Edson Barboza. I think if he knocks him out, I wouldn't be shocked at all, because he does have that capability to knock out anyone any given day. But I feel like Sodiq Yusuff is a very good kickboxer. He's a very technical kickboxer, and I think he's gonna be able to stay safe in the striking exchanges, and not put himself in danger. He's 6-1 in the UFC for a reason, I guess. But yeah, I'm gonna say Sodiq Yusuff gets submission. I don't has Edson Barboza been submitted before? He's only been submitted twice in his career, man. He could maybe outwork him. I don't have any. I think I have the over 1.5 in the parlay. That's about it for now. But yeah, man, this is a tough one. This is a tough fight for to pick, because I want to pick Edson Barboza, but I can't pick a 37-year-old at fighting at featherweight 145. Even though he looked really good against Billy Quarantillo. But I mean, yeah, I'm gonna go with Sodiq Yusuff here, guys, as a slight favorite. I mean, I want to see the weigh-ins. I want to see how big the size difference is between these two. I might switch my pick later in the week, but for now, I'm gonna go with Sodiq Yusuff, guys. He's a minus 165 right now, I think, on most books. It's not a bad money line if you guys think he gets it done. But I'm gonna stay off the main event. I'm not fucking betting any money on either money line. I just like the over 1.5 in a parlay. That's it, guys. I'm gonna pick Sodiq Yusuff. I'm gonna say he gets it done by late submission. I'm gonna say third round submission, guys. Alright, guys, that's it for this video. Please leave a like below on your way out if you guys enjoyed this video. Leave a thumbs up below. Leave a comment below for the algorithm for you, boy. I'm so fucking tired. I gotta get some sleep now. I've been doing tape study on majority of this card, guys. Like if you guys can see this here, I was doing tape study on the whole time. I was taking notes, and it took me like 5-6 hours to do the tape study all over especially for the prelim fights. And we're gonna go over all the fights again, guys. In the main event, we're gonna go with Sodiq Yusuff by submission. In the co-main, we're gonna go Jennifer Maia by decision, I think. And then in the next fight, we're gonna go with Adrian Yanez by knockout. And the next fight, we're gonna go with Michel Pereira by decision. Next one, we're gonna go with Edgar Cháirez by submission in the second round. It could come any round. It could be even in the first round. Next fight, we're gonna go with my lock of the week, Cameron Saaiman by decision. Next, we're gonna go with TJ Brown by first round submission. Next fight, we're gonna go with Melissa Dixon by decision. Maybe yeah, I'm gonna say a decision. Next fight, we're gonna go with Chris Gutierrez by decision. Next fight, we're gonna go with Ducote by decision. And in the next fight, we're gonna go with Terrance McKinney, by first round submission. And in the first fight, in the girls' fight, we're gonna go with Tainara Lisboa. I'm gonna say she gets a second round submission, guys. So those are the picks, guys. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you guys enjoyed the content, leave a like below, guys. Thank you.